Hi, everyone. I'm Grace Bewley Hunt, Home and Design Editor at Lux Interiors and Design, and I am so thrilled to be joined today by the fabulous Tom Felicia. Tom needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. He's a New York-based designer, product designer, author, tastemaker, TV personality, and influencer. In other words, he truly does it all. And to me, his interiors are just so inviting, so warm, and seemingly, being the operative word, effortless. We recently had the privilege of featuring a really gorgeous pied-à-terre that Tom designed for actor Sean Hayes and composer-producer Scott Eisnagel in Manhattan. And I'm just delighted that we have an opportunity to revisit it and dive a bit further into the design. So Tom, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. And I'm actually joining you via hotel room in Los Angeles. And I'm here working on a TV project and doing some meetings here in New York and going over things with my office. And then, of course, lucky enough to be able to join you guys and go through Sean and Scotty's apartment.
That's, a good place to kind of open up our conversation,
Yes.
for our viewers. It's like, tell them about these clients. What are they about? What is the context of this home? And what were your marching orders for this project?
Well, first and foremost, yes. So the clients are Sean Hayes, Sean and Scotty. And, Sean and Scotty both work in entertainment. Sean is, an actor that I think a lot of people are very familiar with. He is very classic and timeless in his approach to clothing and home and architecture and all of that. Their marching orders really were create a space that was both timeless, that represented both of their aesthetics, that felt like a comfortable place for them to relax after crazy busy New York City days.
It feels to me like such a love letter to New York apartment. Like, I love this idea of like the jewel box pied-à-terre. And one of my favorite details, Tom, was really like your attention to wall finishes, and like every surface just seems to be kind of enveloped in something special. At least to me, that came across as one of the things that really achieved that special rich layer you were talking about. So can you tell our viewers today a little bit about some of those moments?
Yes. Well, you'll see the wall finish that you kind of come into, which is a striated wall finish that goes through the entrance hall, which goes into the bedroom hall, to the kitchen, to the living room and dining area. And it really connects those spaces. And I wanted those areas to really work as one space, even though they're designed to be different spaces. The living room, dining room, then the kitchen, then you have sort of this entrance hall that bleeds into the bedroom halls. And I wanted it to feel unified because I wanted to utilize as much of that square footage as possible. I wanted it to feel a little bit like a loft meets a classic apartment layout. So it was about, rather than giving each one of those areas its own personality, it was about really unifying them and bringing them together. But the key was to give the walls a texture so that it didn't feel flat. I think a lot of times new apartments, whether you're going with a more modern apartment or a more traditional apartment, grass cloth, wall finishes, wall textures, anything, layering, doing stucco finish, it all gives the space a sense of patina. It gives it a sense of layering. It gives it a sense of richness. You go into the powder room, for example, and then you have this really great sort of, organic, big scale, kind of floral moment that is just kind of like this really great fun space. It's like a big surprise in a small space. And then you look up at the ceiling and there's a grass cloth with a metallic in it. It just kind of gives it that little sparkle that pulls out all of the nickel from all of the fixtures. And it starts to feel like you're in this really kind of like thoughtful, warm, inviting kind of space that is like making you feel like cozy in an effortless way. And it feels really sort of, I don't know, it just feels finished, and it feels detailed, and it feels custom, and it feels bespoke. And it's a great way to start, the conversation of design.
Absolutely. And I think kind of beyond that, just with the special pieces you pulled in, and even something as simple as the paint color, like there's so many details that all add to this. Were there any, kind of particular pieces, be they artwork or a piece of furniture, that were really, in your view, kind of like a key moment or that really helped your visualization take shape? Are there any kind of heroes we should talk about?
I wanted to give each room kind of that hero moment. And generally what I do is I call them sort of anchor pieces, is really what I call them. The anchor pieces in the apartment are those things that when you open the front door, the anchor piece is really the mirror with that sort of, chest that kind of basically is the thing that says welcome. It says hello.
Yeah.
It's that hero moment in the entrance hall. It's kind of a little bit of it's a little dramatic. It's kind of fun. It's a little unexpected. When you go into the living room, I think the anchor moment from a design standpoint was really taking this sort of like classic clean sofa that was sort of timeless and anchoring it against the map, this really big map that we did on the wall. There's something architectural about it. There's something a little bit sort of masculine about it. There's something that's an exaggerated, interesting moment that anchors that sofa and really it's a defining moment. I would say in the master bedroom, it's the bed. The bed is fabulous. It's unique, it's interesting, it's special, it's cool. It's just something you don't see every day. And it allows that space to be kind of like, ooh, that's like, again, an anchor piece. Like you can have a lot of shitty things in a bedroom, but not a shitty bed.
And what's that bed wearing? I remember it was covered in something really beautiful.
Well, it's actually, the bed is in kind of like this fabulous kind of like mohair, really. It's a kind of it's like a slatey blue mohair, and it kind of wraps the frame, and it's just this cool, interesting, I don't know, it's like, is it classic? Is it traditional? Is it modern? Is it mid-century? It kind of checked all those boxes,
I love that. I love that idea of even like synthesizing somebody within their bed. It just speaks to the personal, like nuanced nature of design. And I love that. I also want a mohair bed now. That sounds so comfy and rich.
Yeah.
So tell me about, I always like to ask about the reveal. Like what was the
Yeah.
ta-da moment? Like, was this done remotely or were they able to come in person? Like, how did you present the project and what is the word?
They waited a long time to see the apartment in person because I think from the day they hired us to the time they walked into the apartment, it was probably 2 years plus. It worked out really well. They flew into New York. I, at that time, was traveling, and the office went in and basically had like a bottle of champagne in the refrigerator for them with, champagne glasses set out and the whole thing. And they basically a little note from us and just said like, welcome home. We're so excited for you to see the house. The office went there the day that they were going there to make sure that flowers were set and that there was like, it was all kind of situated for them. And so when they got there, and there was nobody there when they got there, so that it was, again, sort of COVID friendly. And we kind of left it there. It was like lights were on, music was playing, and it was like ready for them to come in and see. And to be honest with you, I kind of forgot it was happening because I was traveling for work. Wherever I was, I remember getting a telephone call and it said, Sean Hayes. It said Sean and Scotty, actually, is what the phone says, whatever they call it. And I answered the phone, and it was like one of those moments where they were like, first of all, we just want to thank you. This is amazing. They're like, we were going from room to room. We are in awe of every single thing that's here. And we can't wait to do the walkthrough with you, because we had things in the apartment that we were like, I said, look, there's accessories in there. We kind of over accessorized it for you and left stuff in there for like 6 months from my showroom, from other places. And, and because of COVID, people let us do it. And we said, like, we're going to go through, and whatever you want to keep, you keep, whatever you don't, you don't. And we'll kind of do that. And so they were so excited to do that walkthrough, and also to tell us like, hey, we think we need an extra pillow here, or we need that, or we don't need, 5 pillows on each bed. We only need 4 or something like that. So we kind of did that, and it was really fun. But they were just so sweet, and it was such an amazing reveal, but it was interesting to do the reveal remote. And I kind of forgot about it, but they called me after they did the entire walkthrough. And the way they said, first of all, thank you so much for capturing our aesthetic perfectly, telling a story visually that really makes us feel comfortable, and we feel like we're home, and we feel really comfortable in this space and we're excited to be here. And that in and of itself is true success from a design standpoint. But they also were just like, it feels unlike anything that they would have been able to do themselves, because they just couldn't figure out where we came up with all of the ideas from, just whatever details that they just were like kind of excited about. And so it was really nice. It was like I think they spent like probably a full day just like in each room, spending 3 hours just going, what? This is crazy. Yeah. We love this. We love that. They were so happy. I mean, they were just so thrilled and so taken aback by the level of detail that we were able to do. And more so, not so much even about the level of detail, I would even say the level of really making sure that it felt like it was really, it was more about them than it was about me or anyone in my office that worked on the project. We really captured their sensibility and their spirit. And that's what I try to do for clients, is I really try to make them feel like they are an extension of what they would do themselves if they had the resources, the time, and sort of the know-how to do what we do, And so it doesn't always feel like, I think one of the things I love when I go through our body of work is that they definitely, all of the projects that we do respond very much to the client, the location, and the lifestyle. And those are the 3 points of the triangle that really inspire what I do as a designer. And then I bring to that sort of what my expertise is in terms of understanding the architecture, the lifestyle, and really kind of getting that information out of the clients to tell that story. So I love that, because I can work on a modern home, a modern apartment, a traditional home, a traditional apartment, a restaurant, a hotel, understanding a brand. We can work in the Northeast, the Southwest, Turks and Caicos, Japan, and totally dive into the concept of what we're doing and look at it as not just like, this is what we do and this is what you're going to get. It's really like, this is what we're really good at and this is what we bring to the table. But we love telling your story and making it feel authentic to who you are and your lifestyle and why you chose this location and what you're going to do when you're here. Because a lot of our clients have more than one home. So, you don't want each house to be just a run-on sentence of the last house.
Again, it feels like a really special New York home to me, both in its, in its execution, as well as the story behind it.
Yeah.
And it's such a special, special space. We were so honored to publish it. To wrap things up, Tom, we're going to do a quick rapid fire. The
Alrighty.
one thing that every New York pied-à-terre needs is blank.
An ice machine. Jeez. Can't make a cocktail without one.
Good one. The one piece of furniture that looks great in every single project.
I would say a stylish, comfortable club chair that's super important.
Kick up your feet. Yep. Stripes or florals?
I would say both.
New or antique?
You can't have new without old, and you can't have old without new.
Both and both. Linen or velvet?
Linen.
The one design rule you should always follow?
Don't over decorate.
Love it. And the one design rule that you should always break?
Less is more.
Awesome. I know we're closing in on our time together,
yes.
But I wanted to thank you so much for your time, for your wisdom, and for chatting with us about this special home. So thank you.
Thank you. And I love working with you guys. You guys are an amazing team. We love you. We love we're big fans of the magazine, but also just the way that you guys are as business people and supporting the design community is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Tom. And thank you also to our viewers for tuning in today on DesignTV. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
I'm Shannon Sharp. I am the Chicago and Arizona Homes Editor for Luxe Interiors and Design. And welcome to the Luxe Everything Design Indoor segment on DesignTV. Today, I'm so excited to talk to Christina Wolf, Casey Hunt, and Jennifer Matson of JELDWEN, which has been crafting doors for over 60 years. Welcome all.
Hello.
Well, we may only realize it subconsciously, doors actually really set the tone for our home. And as we're slowly opening our homes to intimate groups, we are really starting to realize that more than ever. The door is the first thing that greets you. It's what guides you through the home, and then it eventually leads you into the yard, which we've all been enjoying, during the past year and a half. It's that experience that I want to talk about today. And Christina, I'd like to start with you. I'd like to talk about the IWP Aurora fiberglass doors, which are exterior doors. What makes fiberglass so ideal?
The entry door sets the tone for the entire home, and it's the first contact people have with the structure of the home. The IWP Aurora fiberglass door line is JELDWEN's luxury bespoke door line. They are beautiful and low maintenance. Homeowners today don't really want to spend time maintaining a high maintenance product. And this product is high quality and stands up to the elements.
And even though they're fiberglass, though, they look like real wood, correct?
Correct. The IWP Aurora fiberglass doors are the most realistic fiberglass doors in the market and are indistinguishable from our real wood doors that we sell. The doors truly do resemble real wood in the look, the touch, and the feel, and even the knock. Side by side, our customers really cannot tell which door is fiberglass and which one is real wood. And to achieve that, we start with a real wood door and we mold that into our fiberglass door. And it creates the most realistic wood texture that's available in the market today.
That is so cool. I mean, it's just something that's so ingenious. What's another great aspect of these doors is really it can be whatever the customer wants, correct?
Correct. So IWP Aurora fiberglass has the broadest size and design range of any other fiberglass door line in the world, and it has endless design capabilities. We are actually the only fiberglass door manufacturer in the industry that can make 4-foot wide by 10-foot tall doors. Our many standard designs can actually be personalized almost endlessly when it comes to custom paint colors, stain colors, custom glass, and custom wood grains. We are also the only fiberglass door manufacturer in the industry with a full custom glass department, which is really cool. And it gives the customers a full design flexibility. So you can create your own design from a piece of paper, which is awesome.
That is amazing. And I think that that's what people really want today. Luxury is about being personal now, right? And people do not want to be limited in their choices when it comes to their home. And they really want something special that reflects who they are.
Correct. Doors aren't just a building material anymore. They really are a design element of the home. And our team really tries to stay on top of trends and make sure we have the most on-trend offering in the industry. The IWP team and I actually have been at High Point Market this week, looking at all the different trends, looking at glass, when it comes to lighting, different hardware, different, paint and finish options in furniture. We really look at the entire home to make sure that our door offering matches up with what's trending. We really see that whole home experience, and JELDWEN can bring that to the table with our windows, our interior doors, our exterior doors. We have a full offering that really meets the customer's needs when it comes to style.
Yes, and I know that, speaking of the other offerings, Casey, the Corona interior doors also offer the same bespoke options, correct?
Absolutely, Shannon. You can really set your home apart with custom interior doors. Whether you're looking to have a specific design element in your home or you want to match an architectural style throughout your entire home, custom wood interior doors by Corona really fit the bill when it comes to that. We offer 21 different wood species to choose from, including your more on-trend species like your white oak and rift white oak, as well as primed MDF. We have 25 different glass options to choose from, custom finishing, custom molding. You can do doors up to 4 feet wide, 9 feet tall. So really customization, like Christina said, it's the name of the game when it comes to luxury. And Corona, you can really customize just about anything you want. Somebody could sketch what their idea of a door is on the back of a napkin, and our engineers at Corona can really bring that to life for them, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, and I think that once again, like giving people what they want, because doors are becoming so important right now. People are really veering away from open concept. And, you know, so it's something that people are probably thinking about more than they ever have before.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know, with the dawn of more people working from home, as well as just people spending more time at home in general, having doors that can reduce that sound transmission is really top of mind for homeowners right now. And the interior doors from Corona are all your solid wood interior doors. So they really answer the call when it comes to that.
Right. And there's a lot of conversation happening right now about longevity, and people want something that really will last. And Corona fits that bill. Yeah,
100%. You know, there's really a couple things about Corona that I can touch on for that. First off, we offer, you know, fire rated products. So when you're talking about longevity, obviously, you know, that fits the bill there. For 20-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute, and 90-minute products. And depending on the building standards and codes, oftentimes homes will require a 20-minute door within the home. As well as all of Corona doors meet your WDMA and AWS architectural door standards, as well as we offer a limited lifetime warranty on all product coming out of Corona. So when you're talking about quality that endures, I think that really speaks to that.
It's really about preventing problems from the start. And Jennifer, I know this Sightline low friction glider has solved many problems that people normally face with patio doors.
It has, absolutely, Shannon. So patio doors, unlike your windows, is something you touch every day, right? You're either going out on the back porch, you're letting your dog out, where windows maybe you open a couple times a year. So having a door that operates really smoothly and then is protected from water, from rain, from weather is super important. And that's something you'll absolutely find in a Sightline low friction glider, something we launched last year. And I can tell you how it does that.
Exactly. We want to know.
So a typical sliding glass door, the reason it's difficult to operate is because you do have to keep that water and that weather out. And so that weather strip impedes the door from being really easy to open. So with this low friction glider, we use special hardware that allows that panel to operate independent of the weather strip. So it moves, you can really move a 7 by 10 foot panel. So one that weighs about 600 pounds with one finger, whether you are one of our older senior citizens or a child. It's very easy to use no matter who in your family is operating the door. But then when you're ready to close it, the specialized hardware actually pulls that panel in. So you get really great water ratings. You can use it in all different climates, which really makes it the best of both worlds. All JELD-WEN wood windows are treated with our patented Orlast process, which protects the wood from moisture and from termites and all other environmental situations. So you can feel confident that your JELD-WEN wood window or door will last you a lifetime. So that's something that's really great. Consumers that have old wood windows or doors have probably had them rot, which makes you feel a little uncomfortable to replace them with wood again, but you don't have to worry about that with JELD-WEN. You will have your wood door for a long, long time. And the Sightline low friction glider allows you to have a really big open space in the back of your home, which we know homeowners are looking at right now.
They absolutely are. You know, this means a lot when people are trying to enjoy their yards, you know, and kind of that concept of having a vacation in your backyard.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of homeowners, whether they're remodeling or building new construction, having that big expanse of opening in the backyard, whether you're in a small home, in a community and just have your backyard, or you're looking out on a beautiful ocean or mountainscape, being able to maximize the amount of light coming into your home from the back is great. And it does allow you to feel like you're vacationing just on a Tuesday.
That's wonderful. I always want to feel like I'm on vacation, so that works for me. It really is fascinating how doors create such an experience in the home. Once again, it's something that people may not think about consciously, but it creates this continuity, like I said, from, you know, entry to exit. And I really think Geldwin gives people the choices for all aspects of their home. So where can people find more information on this?
So for IWP Aurora, we actually have an awesome new brochure coming out next week. So look on our website for that and keep your eye out for all these new marketing materials that we're putting out there that shows all of our new designs. We have new SDLs coming out, new glass, and you'll be able to look at these things and completely customize your home to the door of your dreams.
Will do. It's all really exciting. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to talk to me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Cindy, how are you? You're my first stop always. Tell me, what am I going to look forward to seeing in the showroom today?
Cindy, we have 5 great stops.
5 stops?
So I can't wait to show you and everyone in our audience today what's going on here at Haworth. So shall we start?
Let's start.
And Cindy, here we are at our first stop, Pergola.
Oh my goodness. Now, who is this lovely gentleman? He's got to be an architect.
This is the wonderful guy, Andrew Peterson.
I work with Haworth's Architectural Interiors Business Group, and I'm super excited to talk to you about Pergola.
First of all, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to see it in person.
Pergola is our scalable sub-architectural product. This is one of the rounds. This is a 12-foot diameter. We think it's perfect for collaboration. It starts at 4 feet, and then you can go 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 is kind of our limiting factor, both from an aluminum and then just to getting it into the building.
Yeah. So let's talk about the materiality.
We can mix in glass. We can mix in recycled PET. We can mix in some of the same integrated palette finishes that come with our other product lines. Endless possibilities. This is space within space, and pergola is an exterior word, right? But we're bringing the outside in when we put pergola.
I love that. Open.
Here we are, Cindy.
Okay, so we saw collaborative, the collaborative pergola. So now tell us about this more singular.
Yeah, so the scale changed again.
Yeah.
So what was maybe a 12-foot dimension is now more like a 6-foot dimension.
Right.
So we're half the size, and we're using the drapery. So this is actually a quadrat fabric.
Gorgeous. The
Not
soft
necessarily
door.
speech privacy, but essentially just change that environment.
Okay, Kurt, we're at stop number 2.
Great, and here we're gonna meet the lovely Kim Lake, and she's gonna tell us about Compose Echo.
Yeah, so Compose Echo is a series of work system components that are really meant to move the way that a human moves while still balancing the need of facilities managers and keeping everything looking beautiful at the end of the day. So we talk about it in terms of micro and macro movement. So I come into my station, there's a glare on my screen, I'm easily able to adjust my table for that. Or let's say that I want to collaborate with Kurt.
Let's go behind.
Yeah. And now Kurt and I want to collaborate together, so we're going to turn our tables next to one another. Ooh. And now I can share what's on my screen with Kurt.
Nice.
We can
Check this out.
collaborate.
Ooh, am I allowed to see that, Kim? Oh, I don't know.
And so we can go back to doing our own thing now. So really meant to move at the pace that work changes and still maintain a beautiful space through some of the facility management control components that we have.
It's beautiful that it's closed but open.
Everything is really meant to be designed around the movement and around an active type of worker. So storing a bag, having really soft corners, a footrest, an ergonomic hand grip underneath the table. So a very legible design.
Nice.
And Cindy, now we're at stop 3.
Stop 3, it's Veda. So who designed Veda?
Daniele Gallinucci. There was a need for just kind of a thin profile chair. If you look in the back, very slim profile.
Nice.
Not a lot of controls. Really perfect for a conference chair. It's an all-mesh chair, very comfortable, or could also be used in a work setting where maybe you're not 8 hours at a desk.
It's gorgeous. It's so thin. I love the profile.
Right, and you can see in the light colors and the high back, it just gives you a really nice clean look.
Okay, stop 4, we're in the materials library.
Yes,
Who's here?
with the lovely Liz Johnson.
Hi,
Cindy.
Liz. This is like being a kid in the candy store, let me tell you.
Here is a newest one from Quadrat that was launched during the pandemic that Patricia did. And it's made from recycled pop bottles or recycled polyester. And it has a really beautiful quality of
wow.
almost a feeling of a worsted wool.
Yeah.
This one is one that we did here in the design studio at Haworth. It's called Kaleidoscope.
This is fantastic.
It's getting multicolor into a low price point.
Wow.
So
This I'm crazy for.
this one is Patricia's.
Yeah.
And years ago, when standing in the showroom, we were standing on her rug from Gone.
It is a Gone rug, yeah.
And she said, I want that up on the wall.
Wow.
So here it is. It's called Squares.
And
it's made from recycled polyester. And a
Ooh.
polyurethane in a very low price point.
Oh
We're
my
calling
God.
Pemberton. It feels yummy. It's
feels amazing.
Feels amazing. If you had feel-o-vision,
Yeah,
you could really
feel-o-vision.
And it has a very low sheen and a very sophisticated kind of
Oh my
look,
God,
I
this
think.
matty chalkiness.
Really nice.
And clean.
Oh my God,
cleanable.
this
Super
is
clean, yes.
incredible, incredible. Wow.
Then we end up here with Oceanic. This is coming from sea waste.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah, we
amazing.
call it Oceanic because it is really saving our
Coming
oceans.
From the ocean scene.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Liz. And Cindy, here we are at Stop 5, and we're going to talk to a new Haworth Collection partner.
I can't believe this. First of all, I'm so excited. Everyone knows and loves Greg. Everyone knows and loves Emiko. So this relationship to me is like a perfect partnership. What am I looking at here?
You're looking at the 1-inch reclaimed chair by Jasper Morrison.
Love this. Love this. Love Jasper.
It's recycled polypropylene. The collection also comes with an aluminum frame. We continue to iterate and iterate. The 1006 chair, we did aluminum. We did it in recycled PET in a partnership we did with Coca-Cola.
I remember this. This was such a big deal.
Yeah.
And now we also have it in wood.
Wood.
And the original admiral who picked the chair for the design of the aluminum chair, he based it on a wood chair. So our 75th anniversary, we came back to.
Come full circle. I love that. Okay, Kurt, for a quick recap, there was material innovation,
Sub-architecture,
new partners,
new materials and fabrics,
new spaces,
new systems.
all at Haworth.
Well, Cindy,
Well, Kurt,
that's a wrap.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Collab Lab. My name is Paulette Pearson, and I am the Texas Homes Editor with Luxe Interiors and Design. And I'm excited to be here today with designer extraordinaire, Nina Magon, of Nina Magon Studio, a global luxury design studio with headquarters right here in Texas, in Houston. We're so lucky to have her in the state of Texas.
Thank you.
We also have with us Nathan Sperling, who is the Director of Product Management with Maxim Lighting Group. I will be prodding them both for all of the wonderful details about the recent collaboration between Nina and Studio and Lighting, whose parent company is Maxim Lighting Group. And I've been told that these lighting pieces are as luxurious as fine jewels. That's what I hear. So I am most definitely eager to learn a little bit more about them. So thank you so much, you both, for being here. To begin, I guess we could kind of get started by having each of you tell us a little bit about yourselves, maybe starting with Nina, ladies first, a little bit about yourselves and what it is that each of you do for anyone watching who is not already aware.
Sure. So thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Paulette. So my name is Nina Magon, and I am the principal and CEO of Nina Magon Studio. And so we are a luxury design firm focusing on residential, hospitality, and commercial design, but anything that's luxury. We've been in business for 12 years, and we have an office here in Houston, and we just actually opened up an office in San Francisco.
That's exciting. And again, I just want to reiterate to everyone how lucky I feel to have Nina in the state of Texas, where I do a lot of work here for Lux. So we were excited to hear about this collaboration, and thank you for being here with us today to tell us more about it. I'm going to kick it over to you, Nathan. I would love to learn a little bit about what it is that you do, and specifically, please expound upon Studio M Lighting and what kind of your goals are for that sort of, that company within your umbrella.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Paulette. I'm Nathan, and I direct product management for Maxim Group companies, including Studio M Lighting. We're a family-run business with over 50 years of experience, and I'm responsible for design development and production. So I look at our business from a very practical understanding of our capabilities, and that frames how we expand. So in our last expansion, Studio M was created to serve the design community with avant-garde lighting, and that's all unique and luxurious. And this year, we took the concept even further, introducing our sort of designer incubator. And to launch this program, we worked with someone in the impeccable talent in the design industry, which is Nina Magon.
Thank you so much. And, that's sort of a great kind of way to jump into it. What inspired this collaboration? What was the impetus for the project? And how did you connect? What sparked the idea? Tell us sort of about those early stages when you were trying to find a designer to collaborate with, what kind of your goals were. How did you all connect with each other?
We actually were talking since the beginning of the year when we were working on her Zadok Jewelers project in Houston, and the collection, the item we created for that job actually turned out to be the first piece in this collection called the Contour. And it was really came from this concept of it's a jewelry store, and the products are all referencing and influenced by jewelry. And so we made this piece that has this brushed bronze tubing that was engineered to appear as if there's no canopy, which was really unique and very cool concept. And we instantly saw Nina's talent in this project, and we later worked on additional projects and built out this entire product line.
And Nina, what was it that kind of intrigued you about working with Studio M Lighting on this project in the beginning?
So I think that, when I was first introduced to Studio M, what drew me to them was their immense capabilities. I also like the fact that they not only produce here in the United States, but they also produce out of the United States. And so that also gave me the ability to receive things faster if I needed them done in a speedy manner. Just their multiple capabilities and finishes that they offer. And they did do modern design. And, that's something that if you know my design aesthetic, it is very modern and very forward thinking. And, when I met Nathan, I immediately got along with him. He was very easy to talk to, very easy to work with. And so, as a designer, when we're doing a collaboration with someone, we're always looking for someone not only who is talented as a manufacturer, but also has multiple capabilities, and then also their personalities have to match.
Right. Well, Nathan, what was it? I believe this is also your first designer collaboration for Studio M. Is that correct? What makes
sure. That's correct. This is the first collaboration for Studio M. Like Nina said, what was really important for us and the understanding and respect for what each side is bringing to the table was instant, and this just grew organically into what the next step for Studio M should be.
Right. So. Well, I think this is probably about the time for us to talk a little bit more about what this collaboration produced. And I don't know, I guess let's talk with you, Nathan, for a second. And then I want to kind of really prod Nina on kind of her inspiration and kind of how she came up with these designs. But, what resulted from this collaboration? I know there's an incredible number of SKUs. There's 8 collections total, I believe. So talk a little bit about what the collection is and what it includes.
Well, I have to say that beyond just our collaboration with the products as well, I want to point out that what came out of this and resulted was the creation of an entire brand experience. Right. And Nina was very involved in that process the whole way, which was really helpful. Maxim has over 5,000 SKUs of various lighting products, categories, and styles. So I think even people familiar with our company, when they see Studio M, they saw something special there. And Nina's line has a really extraordinary practice that we created many made-to-order options for this. So typically, it's very difficult to deliver customizations with quick turnarounds. But with Nina's product line at Studio M, we're offering stone selection, glass coloring, even made-to-order powder coat finishes. So it's really unique to the market. It's something that doesn't exist anywhere else. And it features these finishes and textures that are rich and vibrant.
Wonderful. Well, Nina, let's talk to you a little bit. I'm excited. I'm really eager to learn. I don't know if you want to name all of the collections. I know there's 8 of them, and do you want to talk a little bit about each one of the collections and tell us a little bit about kind of those designs and what they're called, and we'll talk about the inspiration too, because I'm interested in the jewelry inspiration aspect of this.
Sure. So, Nathan might have to help me with some of the names. I get confused, but, I think that one of them, which was obviously the one that was used at Zadok, which, Zadok, for anybody who's in Houston, knows that, that is like the Harry Winston jewelry store of Houston. And so, I have a lounge upstairs, which is kind of like a little speakeasy inside of the Zadok new store. And, I really wanted the collection to be based off of jewelry and what fine jewelry look like. And so the contour collection to me looks like a pearl necklace. It swoops down and it has the way that the bulbs are on the chandelier. You can see the bulbs coming off of the tubing, and that almost looks like little pearls. And so, that was the inspiration behind that collection. And actually that exact same fixture was used at Kips Bay in our room, but in a completely different application. So if you see the pink chandelier in Kips Bay in our pink room, you'll see that is also the contour collection, but it's been powder coated pink and extremely different from the brushed brass that we have at Zadok. So just by looking at that, you can see the same fixture and the different ways it can look and the different applications it can be used in and the different spaces it can be used in. So that's the contour. The second one I would probably say is the Megalith.
It's got those stone panels that you can choose from, and we have the 4 different stone options.
Yeah, on the Megalith collection, there's multiple stone options that can be put on the light fixture. They can be pendants, it can be a dining room chandelier. And the best part about that is you'll probably see the dichroic glass that has been seen in many, many magazines. And it's so unique because it's modern and it's multicolored, so it feels multifaceted. It can be used in many different applications. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that dichroic glass is so cool because the way the light shines on it, it varies in color and with the light behind it as well.
Right.
And so
it just looks like so fashionable because of the options.
It's very pretty. And then the next one I'd probably say is a Zeppelin.
Right, that was the one I wanted to.
Yeah, and so it comes in a floor lamp. It also comes in a linear fixture. And what's interesting about that is the way that the glass, you want to talk about the glass really quick, Nathan, on how you made that?
Yeah, I guess the glass, it's precision cut. So we have these automated toolings that actually etch these lines onto it, but it's not frosting. It's actually cut into the glass. So like a cut crystal or whiskey glass. And it's framed in this like rich metallic, almost jewelry box. So it's just showcasing this glass.
I think what's interesting to note, Paulette, is that, although I designed all these fixtures, Maxim was actually able to make these light fixtures, because even we have another fixture. I don't know the name again. It's the one with the leather. I know I designed them.
Oh yeah, that one. Stitch was definitely an engineering feat, and stratum with the wireway stitched into the strap, so you don't see any electrical wires. All of the wires tucked into that leather strap, which is a very cool feature.
And so the thing is I think overall, Paulette, every piece is very unique. You can see even the glass looks very expensive and also I think I want to talk about that these pieces can be used in hospitality, commercial, or residential applications, because even on the stitched, which is, it's a wall sconce, that one has a little switch on it that you can switch on and off for a side lamp for a bed. Or a side wall sconce. And so everything has been very thought of before creating any of the pieces.
Right. And I love the idea that, I think you mentioned, we talked a little bit, Nina, before about this collection. And one thing that you said to me or noted was that, when you're getting dressed, the last thing that kind of you add, to your outfit or your ensemble is that jewelry, and it makes it sort of elevates it and makes it so special. So I think that that's kind of a good way to think about this lighting. And I wanted to ask, to you both, in what ways is lighting is lighting important to a space? I love that notion of kind of it being like jewelry and that it inspired this, but can each of you, maybe we can start with you, Nina, kind of talk about that sort of notion of lighting as that final touch or that sort of piece of jewelry that kind of really makes a room come to life.
So I think that, it's very important as a designer that there's two types of lighting that we focus on. One is direct and one is indirect, or decorative and architectural, right? And so with architectural lighting, we have to be very careful with what is being highlighted. What is the use of the lighting? Is it in a restaurant? Are we putting lights in a club? What is the mood that we're trying to create here? And I think with decorative lighting, we are creating something that is jewelry inside of a space, inside of a room. You take an empty box, you put a light fixture, all of a sudden it feels like a necklace or a luxurious piece of jewelry that is adorning a space, right? And so I think that what's interesting is that the lighting that we created with Maxim, it kind of does both. Some of them do have LEDs, so they do create, more light if need be. Some of them are on dimmers. They are decorative. They are architectural. I think they kind of check all the boxes that we were looking for when designing a collection.
Right.
Yeah, Nina totally hits it on the head with that, because a lot of these pieces definitely bridge the gap between hospitality and residential function, with the bedside lamps having the integrated switch, or the Zeppelin pendant having an additional integrated LED strip at the bottom. So you're featuring this glass, but you're also providing functional light. And the scale of them is definitely larger. Perfect for Texas homes or commercial projects around the country.
Well, I think that's what's so great, Paulette, is it can be used for a Texas house, or it can be used for a house in New York, because they're so customizable.
Right.
And again, you can see that with the Kip Space chandelier, which was a 6x6 diameter, in a 8x10 room, but it worked. And so it's very functional, and it can be used in many, many different ways.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Nina, I believe that you also assist anyone interested in these pieces with kind of selecting the correct ones for their space. Is that right?
Absolutely. If anyone has, or there's a designer who's interested in fitting out a space, I'd be more than happy to help them with colors or any information that they need. And of course, Nathan and his whole family are very, very helpful and always available. So either one of us would be more than happy to help.
Wonderful.
Studio M does offer a concierge service as well. So any project consultation, we're willing to guide you through the process. If it's going to be enough light, or if you wanted to change a finish or change it somehow, we'll talk you through how that process works.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like you guys just have such a great such a great sort of chemistry, and I'm imagining that this was such a good collaboration. Can you talk a little bit too about just sort of how that worked? You know, how did you come up with these ideas, Nina? You know, what was the back and forth like? Did you sketch? What kind of research did you do in kind of preparing for, you know, sort of creating these pieces, and how did you kind of bring your ideas to life? So what was that collaboration like, and what was the process like for this really curious journalist? I'm interested to kind of know how it all began.
So what happened actually was before we met Nathan, it was COVID. And so I decided, you know, I like to take projects on in my office. And so I decided that I want to create a lighting collection. That's fun. And so obviously we did sketches and renderings, and we created this packet, you know, ironically based on jewelry, and then it happened to go on Zara. And so, you know, we put all these designs together on paper, just imitating, you know, what would a Bulgari necklace look like? What would a Cartier bracelet look like? How do we translate that into a light fixture? And then when we were introduced to Nathan and his team, you know, obviously in every collaboration, there has to be a give and take. And so, you know, obviously our designs are very luxury, and we have to also see what is the affordability of what we're trying to design. And so Nathan was great in helping us with, okay, this might be too much, this might be more affordable, let's keep it at this price point, and giving us those kind of ideas to either scale up or scale back. And so that partnership worked very well together because he understood the design of the collection immediately. And, you know, obviously some of the pieces we had to take out, they might be too complicated to produce. So I think a designer has to understand that when you design something, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, everything looks good in theory, but we don't know if it's good in actuality. And so Nathan was able to help us with that. He's very, very thorough with his product knowledge. And so he was immediately able to say, this might work, this may not work. Maybe we can do it this way instead. And, you know, those were the constant conversations that happened. And it was very, very easy to work with him and his family. His family is great.
But I have to still say that her design work is so forward thinking and luxurious design while still being approachable to the market. Like, it's not very out there. People can accept it. And what resulted is this very retro futuristic collection, which that's how I like to refer to it. But it has like the sophisticated European influence. So I feel like any piece in this line can go in a traditional setting and really refresh it, or just complete and round out this sleek modern design.
Right. And it sounds too like it's sort of the perfect blend of lighting that really has this sort of aesthetic function, but is also extremely functional and useful as well for anyone who decides to bring it into their home. You know, Lena, you mentioned Kips Bay a little bit earlier. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about that space and also kind of the designs you use for the room, which I think were at the time sort of a hint at this new collection. Do you want to talk about those designs and kind of what it was like working together for Kips Bay in particular?
Sure. So, you know, when we found out that we were a designer for Kips Bay, we had a very little time frame. I don't know if you're familiar with Kips Bay, but they don't give you much time. And so once they found the house, I think we had 6 or 8 weeks to finish our room from concept to final installation. And so it was very, very stressful to get that room together, to concept the room, you know, but once the concept was done, which was this Milanese, you know, woman who, what would her bedroom look like if she's waiting for her long lost lover? And then and what would that room look like? So everything, the room was so small, it was a guest room. And we were lucky enough that we had a bedroom, a bathroom, and a closet that we had to finish very quickly, all very small in scale. And so we knew immediately that there's no way I'm going to find a light fixture for this space. I'm not going to find a bed for this space. I'm not going to find anything. So the room was so small. So we ended up creating the bed with Constantino, who actually has been a big collaborator with Nathan for the showrooms for Maxim that we designed with him. So Constantino was able to create the bed, and you can kind of see those partnerships coming through in Kips Bay. So, you know, we made the bed, and, you know, I remember telling Constantino I want to make a stone bed, and they were like, you're crazy. And I said, let's do it. And then I told Nathan I want to make a 6-foot chandelier in this 8x10 room. It didn't make sense when we were doing it, but we were doing it. And we wanted it pink. And so, we gave him a color. And so
that type of vision. Yeah.
So not only was his the contour chandelier in the main bedroom from Maxim, but we also had some pendants in the bathroom that I don't think we never made them, but very, very cute pendants that were also powder coated in pink for the restroom that Nathan was also able to create for the space.
Okay. And was that kind of a jumping off point for this collection? Am I wrong in recalling it that way?
It definitely was the inspiration for these made-to-order options. When we did that custom RAL finish to match the wall paint color selection, it made the whole contour choice of selections of made-to-order powder coats, and then every collection started to have more options that make it better to apply to any space.
Right. I think I'm going to put both of you on the spot and ask if you had to pick a favorite collection or a favorite piece. We'll stick with you, Nathan, and then I'll ask Nina, give her a few minutes, a minute or two to think about it. But is there one that stands out to you as particularly sort of astounding or sort of extraordinary?
I do find that the Stitch was my biggest engineering feat, but the Zeppelin is the one that I always go to. And I like calling it Zeppelin because there's this, because it's LED in Spanish or French, it would be called Led Zeppelin, which I think is cool too.
I love that. What about you, Nina?
I love all the pieces. There is one mirror that we didn't talk about. It has an LED mirror. I think that when we showed that at High Point, when we showed the collection, I think the mirror was really the star of the show. And it has an LED, and then it also has stone on the front. It's a beautiful shape, and it's a makeup mirror, or it could be a mirror that you put in your, mudroom before you walk into your garage. It's a beautiful piece, and it also has a little piece that you can hang your jacket on or a scarf or something. And then, obviously I really love the Arya. Aryan is my son's name, and this is called the Arya Collection. And what I love about it is it has these two glass domes that are overlapping each other. They do have a retro feel, and the color of the glass can be, it's smoky, and it can be an emerald green, and there's various colors that it comes in. But again, it can be used as a cluster or a single pendant, but it is a very, very beautiful piece.
What inspired that piece in particular? The green, the color?
Emeralds.
Emeralds. Oh, right, obviously.
And, the Arya and the Alina are named after Nina's children. So those are very special pieces in the collection.
Oh, fantastic.
And the Arya is definitely one of the coolest pieces with the integrated LED inside of it. And that opulent green with the gold, the French gold finish. It just creates a very high-end jewelry outlook.
Are there any other, just sort of on this topic of jewelry, and then we're at our 5-minute mark, so we'll need to kind of wrap things up a little bit, but what are some of the other sort of notable materials that you guys incorporated into this collection? We've talked about, that sort of green, and I know that there's some really beautiful materials that you all are really proud of. Can you talk to those, even if we've already talked about them, but I'd like to talk a little bit more about that.
So leather's used a lot in the collection. We have very thick glass on the stratum pendants that are layered to give a different dimension. There's onyx and alabaster. There's a recycled composite of glass and marble we created that we call Straya Arya. Dichroic glass. There's also that precision cut glass we spoke about.
Right.
It's really a unique collection with the terms of how many materials were used for it.
Wonderful. Nina, was this something, how did you all kind of land on these specific materials? It was all about that inspiration?
It was, obviously we wanted glass because glass has that translucent quality. The dichroic glass that has all the different colors, we wanted something to have color in it. It almost looks like they're earrings. It's so interesting too, I have to mention this. So on the contour on the contour light fixture. You know, Nathan, at the photo shoot that we had, Nathan and his sister presented me earrings that look almost identical to that chandelier. I don't know where they found these earrings from, but it looks almost just like the chandelier, and it kind of reconfirmed what we were doing. And I had no idea that those earrings even existed. Nathan, I don't even know where you got those from.
Yeah, I don't remember actually either, but when we saw them, we were just like, that's Nina's lighting pendant, and we had to buy them for her.
I love the idea of the collection actually inspiring jewelry, so it's sort of the other way around too. Well, when, where, and to whom is this collection available? It's already available, am I right? Can you talk a little bit about where people can find it, who it's available to, and all of that? Give us the who, what, when, where, all of that information for everyone watching.
The easiest way to find where to buy is just viewing it on Studio M Lighting's website. It'll direct you to fine showroom partners we have across North America, as well as e-tailers if you want to purchase online. And all the products are being onboarded right now. The plan is basically to bring this home for the holidays.
Perfect. So it's perfect timing. Is there anything, I'm going to throw it back to Nina and we'll end with you, Nathan. Is there anything that either one of you would like to add that we maybe haven't covered that you think anyone watching might find interesting?
I do think, we will be at, different trade shows around the country. I think that it's a very beautiful collection in person, and you have to experience them in person to really see the beauty of every single piece. I don't think the photos do it justice. And again, the price point is so fantastic that it can be used for contract, which I think is very important, especially since, my firm is getting into contract. This is something that we'll definitely want to spec out. But overall, it was a joy working with Maxim, and I hope that we can expand this collection and, really knock it out of the park.
Beautifully put. How about you, Nathan? Any last words or anything else you can add?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much again for being here and for sort of bringing us up to speed on one of the many things that each of you has been up to. So we're really grateful, and I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone watching to learn more about it. And I'm sad to say that this concludes our discussion about this fabulous collection between Nina, Megan, and Studio M Lighting. Thank you for being here again, and thank you to everyone for watching. And be sure to check out these beautiful designs at studiomlighting.com. So we'll see you all next time, and good luck, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.